Oh boy. I hope I'm able to. Jeffrey? Jeffrey, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. I can hear you. That's good. You actually raised the volume on you just a little.
Turn up my audio a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. No, 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 no,
That
no, no.
one.
That's not right. Oh.
Anyone speaking?
Oh,
I
hey,
am
Steven.
here.
Hey. Okay.
For some reason, everyone's quiet.
Nah, no, no, no. We're just getting ready here.
Being,
Okay.
being quiet and waiting patiently is the idea here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just waiting for everybody to get here. That's all. All right, all right, all right. There's. Hey. Don't mind us for the people watching. We're just waiting for Taylor and Gabby to show up. I know Gabby said that she's getting ready, so so I think just because we're waiting for people to show up. Taylor?
There she
Hi,
is.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear
Yep.
you.
Okay. Yeah. Just so because we're waiting for Gabby to show up, I'll just go through some live chats right now. So, bro, what's up? Zubimo Franca reviews Kingdom. My favorite thing about the show is probably the story and character interaction. For people watching, we'll get to live chats at the very end. So yeah, we're basically going to stick to discussion, but I'll go over the order of things we'll talk about once Gabby gets here. So right now we're just kind of hanging out.
I may have to tap out in a little bit, but I'll stick around for a little.
You have to step out for a second, Taylor.
I said that I probably will in a little while, but for now I'll stick around.
Okay, that's good.
Just checking up on Twitter right now.
Oh, looks like Gabby is she joining the call? I just got a notification that she. Oh, there you are, Gabby. Gabby, hello. Oh boy, is she having internet issues again?
You
Gabby, are
there,
you there?
Gabby? Oh, she went off. There she is.
Alright. Herlon Campos, can you believe that Magic can return to the show? Keep watching the discussion, and we'll get to that question. How do you leave the call and come back? Could somebody help Taylor? Like, she's asking, how do you leave the call? Did she just press... If she presses the hang up button, will that mean that she'll end the call completely?
No.
No, she could just press hang up?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hang up without interrupting you guys when I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. I was just wondering. And
All
you
right.
guys can hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
better
you
than
sound
last
much
time.
better than last time.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
By the way, can you hear anything in the background on my side?
I'm hearing some static fuzz, but I don't know who it's coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, then probably not me then.
Alright. Yeah, I hope Gabby can hear us. I know not to call her out or anything, but I know there's times where we'll record something and either I can't hear her or something goes wrong on her end, so hopefully she'll get it fixed up. Yeah, I hope she at least responds to the message we sent out. Like, Gabby, it's probably better if I message her than, asking the audio chat.
Does anybody know where that static fuzz is coming from? There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just wondering.
I honestly don't know.
Hello.
Oh, there you are, Gabby.
Hello.
Hi.
Woo, okay, I'm just gonna do my phone. I don't care anymore.
Will you be in a good spot for video, or are you gonna only be able to communicate for audio?
I should be fine.
Okay. Just
I
find
should be fine.
just find one place to sit down, so that you
Y'all
don't get as much camera.
Y'all sound muffled though.
You sound muffled?
A little bit. I think I can hear you a little better now, but
Testing.
One,
okay, I
two,
can hear
three.
you fine. Woo! Okay. Oh yeah, is that you, Jeffrey?
Yep, that's me, Gabby.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Yes. So we can get started, right?
Absolutely.
Alright, so here we are again, our take 2 of our Cleaved discussion, because last time, admittedly, we weren't, very organized, and I freaked out. I privated the discussion. It's not deleted from YouTube, but I privated it because I didn't want somebody coming across it and taking it out of context. So, this time, before we get started, I just want to say major apologies for last time. I was honestly having a really bad day up until the discussion, and I was honestly extremely paranoid about how many people watching would take it. So, but this time, we're much more relaxed. We're going to go with a structure where basically we're going to let each person speak at a time regarding how they thought about Cleaved, and then we'll get to the question of whether Magic should remain or stay. And then third, we'll get to, we'll talk about how Star has impacted us, and then if there's any live chat questions, I'll be sure to answer them. So it's basically gonna run like if you've been to a comic convention panel where it's mainly focused on the discussion, and anything else we'll get to toward the end. So, okay, so who said that?
What the heck was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, hello?
Yes?
But okay, but anyway, you want to start, Steven, with your thoughts on Cleaved?
Oh, it's I'm starting off again. Basically the same as last time. pretty much all our anything we can say about it is going to boil down to this finale was kind of rushed. It feels like it should have been at least 2 episodes, but that mostly seems to have screwed up with the lore. There's going to be a lot of unanswered questions based around the magic aspect, but I think they wrapped up the relationship aspects about it pretty well, especially since they already did some of the legwork before.
Well, I was very, very happy with all the emotional closure we got. It's still hard to deny at all that, you know, the finale was rushed, because it obviously was. I just feel like I kind of wish there wasn't so much of a big commotion over the fact that it was rushed, because, to be honest, it's like, stuff like this happens, guys, you know? But, yeah, I really enjoyed seeing everybody just coming to terms with each other. Most of the conflicts that we had, as far as, like, one person having ill feelings towards another, were kind of just, like, fixed, and if not, well, the character was just kind of, like, pushed out of the picture, so I thought that was pretty nice.
I actually just noticed we're already starting off with seemingly going audio only, so, but anyway, Taylor, you want to actually come on camera and tell us how you felt about Cleaved?
Oh, shoot.
Is Taylor
I
there?
didn't know we were
I know
supposed to do that.
she said she was going to step out, but... Oh, wait, it says Taylor started sharing video. Taylor, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah, do you want to turn on the camera and tell us how you felt about Cleaved?
Yeah, my camera's on. Hi, everybody.
It's on? Like, you don't seem on.
Yeah, I see her camera on.
Wait, let me see. Oh, wait, I see you now.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I totally agree with the statements about how...
Taylor, can you speak a little closer? Now it's
To
kind
the
of hard
microphone?
to hear you again.
Yeah. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I do agree with our feelings about it being rushed. However, I think we do need to give credit where it's due to all the animators who worked so hard on it and to create the finished product. I know that we're all human and not perfect, but I think it was a pretty great finale either way, and despite the ending, it's open to possibilities of anything. So in our future discussions about magic, that is also a topic.
Could you repeat that last part, Taylor?
And maybe like bend the phone closer to the microphone side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's alright.
I think that despite how open the ending is, it'll lead to some good discussion later on, especially about magic and our ideas about how it ends in our eyes.
Couldn't quite hear that. I got that you basically said it leaves things open to interpretation. Do you think you could clarify that a bit?
Yeah, so as much, like, basically, it's open to however we want to think about it, but that's also a perfect discussion for us to have as fans and to see how we all interpret it.
Okay, yeah, that time it actually sounded really good. All right, so Taylor, you could go back to audio only.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeffrey, how did you personally feel about Cleaved?
You want to turn your camera?
There you go. Well.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, sorry about that.
That's a lot of.
Yeah.
That's a lot of static.
Yeah, ooh, it sounds like the background noise is coming from your side, Jeffrey. Do you have like a fan turned on or something like that?
Yeah, you want me to shut it off?
Preferably. Is it really hot where you are?
It's a little bit hot, yeah.
It doesn't sound that bad when you're going audio only. It's like, is it a different microphone or something?
I didn't hear it at all, actually.
Yeah.
I was hearing it and wondered where it came from, but I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to go ahead and say this, I think the ending of this series was pretty good overall. I know there's a lot to mention that it was rushed, but in the end, I think the whole thing turned out to be a happy ending in any matter, even if they didn't kiss or not. Although the last episode probably had it better, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But in the end, I think that it's a very good way to at least end it. May not be great, but at least a good way.
All
right, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, thank you,
That was
Jeffrey.
great. I liked that.
Mhm.
I think that was more like I was trying to say, Jeffrey, so thank you for that.
No problem.
Okay,
All right,
back to
so
audio.
back to audio, guys. So, yeah. Jeffrey, did you already said? Did you hear what you said? You could turn
Yeah,
off.
he's going back to audio.
Oh, okay.
Looks
Yeah,
like.
but I'm back on audio.
Oh, really? Huh. Weird.
Hmm,
Not switching
'cause
back.
It's not switching back.
Yeah, things gonna be a little laggy.
It happens.
Yeah, you hit the camera button, right?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe it just needs a second to switch back, I guess.
Try reconnecting.
Yeah, it's just switched off. It's not saying that you're pitch black.
Yeah.
It's not saying that your camera's off or anything.
Let me test one more.
Yep.
That camera back
Yep,
on.
you're back on. Yeah, there we
Okay.
go. Okay, that's good. So, alright, so I'll get to my end of the discussion. Still, yeah, we're still picking up background noise, though.
I don't know why.
Sorry.
I don't know why I don't know why it wasn't picking that up before.
Yeah.
Or Jeffrey, could you maybe mute yourself until you want to speak?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're good for the moment. Let's just keep on. Just try to stay as quiet as possible.
Yeah. Or Jeffrey, can you move the mic a little away from your fan? Is that possible?
That help a little?
Not really.
It might be my Surface, because my Surface has a bit of a loud fan. Let me try. How's that?
No, I.
Oh, it's not that either? Huh, okay.
Oh.
Alright. In any case, what was the next thing we were going to discuss?
Well, I was gonna talk about my take on the on Cleaved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm kind of the most mixed of the 6 of us, if I'm perfectly honest, because on one hand, like, I'll get to like positives first. I will say it definitely. I'm kind of in Steven's boat in saying that it seems like a like a good, like, emotional finale, like in terms of relationship closure. We get to see the queens one last time. That was a really cool moment, and and seeing how things wrap up for Starco, I thought was really sweet. I liked how they were able to merge Earth and Muni into like one dimension, which I'm wondering if does this mean Muni is now just part of Echo Creek, or I don't know. You guys could probably throw in a theory or two on that. But yeah, in terms of them not kissing in the end, on one level, the shipper of me is like, oh, no, we don't get one last kiss. But then again, like I was saying on Twitter, I like how it leaves things open to interpretation instead of, just ending on like one big smooch. I like how it kind of leaves things open to interpretation. Maybe Star Marco went out to get pizza, maybe they went out for chocolate, or maybe they just hugged. we don't know. I think that's really sweet thing to leave it on. On the downside of the episode, though, I gotta agree, it definitely did feel rushed. I mean, in our last discussion when we had Valentina here, she was saying that she was surprised that Cleaved was coming out as soon as it was, and I think she even said that some things didn't make it in the episode or something like that. So
Yeah,
so,
she was saying that she got to see a few parts of the whole original concept that ended up getting cut out, I think. Though she did not feel capable of disclosing what it was. But, hey, no
we're not
pressure.
gonna we're not gonna like pressure her into doing that. I understand that kind of stuff. But yeah, I also felt it was kind of rushed. I'm kind of mixed on the whole, and I think Steven, you could throw in something on this whole idea of the magic getting destroyed, because I do get it in the sense that if it was like a better written sort of an ending, and if they really were rushed, then I still give a lot of credit to the animators, since I suspect it was more on Disney's end than them procrastinating. I definitely think it was more on Disney's end, that they just wanted the show to end as fast as possible. But it's kind of like, I kind of felt that it was kind of a bit of an extreme move, and the way they kind of wrote it, I felt it was almost like we're supposed to look at magic as a bad thing. Like, when I watch the older episodes and think, oh, it's all going to amount to this, it kind of just leaves like a really bad taste in my mouth. Like, when I look at Star with the heart cheeks now in the older episodes, I'm kind of like, am I supposed to, dislike? But but I think that's kind of more of a symptom of like, really sloppy writing. But I don't think it's a case of, they're like, oh, screw magic, we want to get rid of it as fast as we can, because they do give like a dignified like ending to Glossaric, when he was saying, every good captain goes down with the ship. Star and Marco weren't like, yeah, get out of here, we don't want you anymore. And I think we even said in our last discussion, like, Steven, you said that you think that in a sense magic has kind of lived on in this whole, this combined dimension, right, Steven?
Yeah, because essentially, even magic being gone for the most part definitely meant characters that were mostly made of magic, like Glothric or the Magic High Council, are pretty much dead. But let's be real. Half of the characters we saw that showed up toward the end when Unity got merged would be dead also if magic was completely gone.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, because like I've seen, like, yeah, that was another thing I wanted to bring up, and that was why I was kind of thinking maybe the whole getting rid of magic was, it was like, maybe it could have been like a more thought out ending, but then I was like, oh wait, but then I got rid of all these characters. I mean, the Magic High Commission, although there's Hecapoo fans, but there's also things like, the laser puppies and the spells. I know they're like, very, background-ish characters, but on the other hand, they're still like characters, and there's still some the more likable characters. So I'm like, so I don't know. I just kind of felt that was maybe more of a symptom of the ending getting rushed. I'm not saying, I'm gonna hold a candlelight vigil for the laser puppies or anything like that, but I'm just saying, whoa, that had some really unintended consequences. So yeah, so I think that's where like I kind of stand on the ending, and that was why, like, a big part of the reason why I freaked out in the last discussion was because I was really concerned that the whole star phase was going to be, like, very, like, anti-magic. Almost like if you, like, I was worried it was going to be a case where if you cosplay Star with the Heart Cheeks, you were going to be, like, super, super looked down upon. But it seems like it's kind of a mixed blessing in the Star fan, in terms of the fan base. Because some fans are like, yeah, I mean, some really shady people got their hands on magic. But then there's also a good amount of people who are like, ooh, the laser puppies. And we've even seen in all, like, our discussion that could magic come back, which I think kind of leads to, like, our, next point of discussion. Was it an overall good idea for magic to be gone? Which I think, Steven, like, you want to start again, Steven? And maybe come on camera this time?
Oh, on camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What I was trying to say is that the whole reason that they went through eliminating magic was to get the message across that a force that has been abused to power basically a fascist regime. The risk is there where it might be best to basically take it out of anyone's reach.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't think that it ultimately says just because of that it destroys magic altogether. I think Star basically brings it up as this is an example of how throughout the years magic has been used to as a way to abuse monsters. But at the same time, her and Marco staying together and willing to essentially die with the magic served as basically an example of a case where magic was used for good. And basically, I think the last bits of magic were used from that death to merge the two worlds, bring pretty much most of the characters back into a way where everyone can meet without the dimensional scissors, and basically to reunite the couple that just formed a couple episodes ago. So that's how I stand upon it.
I see. Alright, thanks, Steven. You can go back to audio. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, ooh. Now we're getting this problem on your end, Steven, where, you know...
How's it?
No, well, it's that, Oh, Taylor says that she has to jump in. Taylor, do you want to, jump in and talk about your thoughts on magic being gone?
Hi.
Yeah.
So, I am actually still very conflicted on whether or not...
Hold the phone closer to you, Taylor.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still very conflicted on whether or not destroying magic was the right choice. I could see how it was in the show, but my only issue with how things got rushed is that I wish that Star Marco could have thought about their options better and used and decided on destroying magic as their last resort before coming to that conclusion. But like I said, I think that is probably how it was meant to be. And especially since like Glossric and Hekaku were, I guess, ready to die. Is that right to say? Or like be done?
Actually, Jeffrey, hold on a second. Jeffrey, do you think you could, mute until we get to you? Because I think the background noise is, is a lot to take in. Jeffrey, did you hear that? Okay. Taylor,
Okay.
could you start again?
From which part?
The beginning, basically. Where you were
Okay.
saying you were kind of mixed on this, too.
Yeah, so basically, one of my few conflicts with the show feeling so rushed is that Star and Marco did not have the opportunity to decide whether destroying magic was the best option before coming to that conclusion. I wish that we could have gotten a few episodes or a little bit of discussion beforehand, thinking of other alternatives to destroying magic. However, that was probably part of the plan or prophecy all along, especially with Star's tapestry depicting her destroying magic and realizing that's what she had to do.
I see. Like, Steven, did you want to comment on that? In terms of alternatives? Because I'm trying to think of some... Well, one could be, Eclipse and Moon and Star teaming up to defeat Mina. Oh my god, I used the word destroy. But Steven, what did you think? What do you think of that?
I'm actually gonna tap out, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, that's cool. See you.
Okay.
I hope I don't interrupt you.
Nah, that's
That's
fine.
alright.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try-
you should be able to hang up without interruption.
Later.
All right.
Bye.
Okay,
Yeah,
switch to-
though I would agree that extra scenes would have helped with that. Just the last episode of that one scene where basically the only option was for a world without him. So it felt like we got more of her coming to terms with it off screen than actually seeing it up front with Margot. So that's definitely an aspect I agree with her. That could have used an extra line at least.
Yeah, I think so too. If it was at least like done in like a more dignified way, at least in terms of like maybe we have to consider that as an option, then I personally could have taken it more. But anyway, Gabby, did you want to throw in your thoughts on the destroying the magic? And Steven, you can turn off the camera.
Alright, do I go on camera?
Yes.
Alright, hello!
Hey, Gabby.
Ultimately, I think the point is we're supposed to get on board with Star's idea of getting rid of the magic. I'm kind of thinking of it more as just kind of like reducing it drastically more than getting completely rid of it. Somewhere along the lines of what Steven had in mind. Ultimately, I just see it as a case of, because of some, people who just decided to misuse something, everybody gets to, doesn't get to benefit from it as much as it would. As much as one would like it to be possible. I'm jumbling my words a little bit, but yeah.
So basically what you're saying is you would like to see maybe magic be reduced?
I think that's more so what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, particularly focusing on getting rid of the whole deal with the Magic High Commission, the Solarian Warriors, because I think more than anything, it was about the Solarian Warriors and how they just couldn't be controlled. I don't see it very much being a case of just magic in general we need to get rid of. It's just like an immediate solution to the main problem we're having. I mean, if you want to put it that way, you certainly can.
Yeah, definitely. Jeffrey, what do you think? Gabby, you can switch the camera off.
Yeah, let's
There we go. Well, what I think about the issue of the magic going away, I think I would accept with what Gabby said as well. Having to get rid of magic completely wouldn't make the series look any good as it is, even for an ending. But what I can understand is that maybe there's some hope that if they did reduce their magic, I know it would be given mainly only Star or Marco, because they were considered a couple. Mm-hmm. And I believe this was the thing that I was looking at, because Star and Marco are pretty powerful, even though Marco may seem very immature on the whole magic issue a little bit. Kind of still early on and whatnot, but it makes sense that maybe a little bit of magic should have remained, basically.
I see. Yeah, that's cool. All right, Jeffrey, you could go back to me. If you do want to say something, feel free to come back on.
All right, I got you.
It's funny. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get through the Magic Book of Spells, but we kind of see it in the show. You know how, supposedly Glossaric has died numerous times, and even like the Book of Spells, we thought it was burnt to a crisp, but those whose was it? Silkworms brought it back. Was it Eclipses or Glossorix? Do you guys remember?
Eclipse found like a page from Stars
Yes, that
for a
was
free ride.
a secret closet, the closet of secrets.
Yeah, because I figure she still had something left over she needed to learn or whatnot. But I think it was kind of a little bit clever, while at the same time reckless for Star to really hold on to whatever was left of that book. But I'm not. But just how it was probably done. If anything else.
Yeah. And somebody in the live chat, Squirrel the Turtle, said that it was Glossorix silkworms. So yeah, thank you, Squirtle the Turtle, for reminding us. Funny enough.
That is an awesome name, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, but for me, I was gonna say, because we had a viewer, Herlon Campos, asking, the question was basically, could magic return to the show? And I don't know, with all the twists and turns of Star, I basically learned to take it as not to take something as absolute. I mean, if Glossorix, could come back from the dead, and the Magic Book of Spells as well, I think technically speaking, and who knows, what if there's actually a chapter in the Magic Book of Spells in the show that it could actually tell you how to bring magic back? What do you guys think of that?
I think that's an interesting concept, really. That's all I can say.
I can see that happening as well. I kind of just imagine magic slowly coming back on its own without anyone else's intervention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much sense that makes though, but that's kind of how I imagine it.
Yeah. Actually, before we get to Steven's, a thought actually just occurred to me that might be more evidence of just how kind of random magic pops up. You guys notice how it was really weird how there was this whole portal that was sitting under Brita's Tacos, the restaurant, this whole time, which they didn't explain in the show, which kind of ticks me off. You know what I'm saying? Just in terms of we didn't know it was there this whole time. So do you think, there's a possibility of magic being, could still exist in a sense?
Yeah, kind of interesting there.
Maybe.
I mean,
What
this
if
guy.
it's secretly the recipe to make Rita's Tacos sauce, and they just think it's some very delicious sauce, but it actually has magical powers.
I almost thought that's a bit of a hunch there. But this kind of mystery of seeing that portal kind of reminds me something out of Gravity Falls, actually. In
It
some way.
does. It really does.
It really does. Seriously.
Could you explain that, Jeffrey?
It's because in Gravity Falls there was a lot of secrets that were mentioned, and that we knew this has some relation to Grunkle Stan having his portal and stuff down there to try to get into another dimension to get back to get Ford Pines to return. It kind of reminds me of that, actually, in the specific.
I see what you mean.
And then the book, in order to gain access to the portal and the data that was on it, essentially almost acts like this book of spells in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wait, could you actually repeat that again? I didn't quite catch what you said about that. And what did you say before the Magic Book of Spells?
That it was the 3 books that were issued to connect with boats.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, Steven, what do you think? In terms of the possibility of magic coming back?
I can see that. Specifically because they establish basically by the fact the Mumins are essentially pilgrims. There is some sort of connection that's special with Earth and with Earth and with basically Muni that. I think it goes beyond just the magic wells that were inside that portal. There's just something about that connection that feels way too intentional.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah. I'm still wondering how did I think it's safe to say that the humans are humans. How exactly did the settlers fall in that portal and get to Muni? I'm still wondering how that works. Was it were they out in the gold rush and they just happened to fall in this rabbit hole, or I don't know.
Think about it. A lot of places back in the day, places that used to be full of water ended up now they're basically nothing but dirt. So probably back around that time, Echo Creek was literally just a creek.
Very true. Very true.
Interesting on that part.
Yeah. Because I guess that's one of the probably one of the biggest mysteries that is still a thing to me. And it's funny. I know, Steven, for a while you thought that Jana wasn't human because you were wondering how she gets to Muni. How did you feel, Steven, when you found out? Oh, there was actually this portal under Brita's tacos this whole time.
Wait, can you repeat that?
You thought for a while that Jana wasn't human, right? And you were like, that's how does she get to Muni? Well, how do you feel that in actuality it was just that Jana was using a portal that was under Brita's tacos this whole entire time?
Honestly, I think I've given up on that hypothesis because they did spend some time establishing that her family is indeed normal. It's shocking how just how calm her parents are, considering it actually reminds me of who is the emo kid that was back in Gravity Falls?
Robbie?
Yeah, remember his parents, they're funeral owners, but they're the most chill people imaginable. It was something like that, except instead of overly happy, they're just really, really calm.
Okay.
Another Gravity Falls connection. Very clever.
Yeah, definitely. So
I remember actually, it wasn't even Jana. Originally, I thought maybe Jackie was even not human, that she was maybe a mermaid, and there was definitely fan art based on her dress during the dance that gave off that feel.
Yeah, I definitely remember that was
that's happened often too with the fan base. I've seen people make fan art for that, so I was thinking the same way too.
Yeah, and I definitely feel there's quite a few people in the live chat that are like, bring magic back, and they're all like, what's gonna happen? But yeah, but anyway, I guess we'll talk a bit about the impact Star had on us. So again, well, actually, who saw I guess I shouldn't ask the question, but anyway, we'll start again with Steven. You want to talk a bit about the impact Star's had on you now that the series is basically over? Well, it is, but
Okay, I did a repeat of this, but I'll bring it up again. What drew me to the series from the start was basically just random clips of Star and Marco interacting. And that hasn't changed throughout this entire show. I think the reason why I'm okay with the disappointment for the fantasy aspect is because I've always thought, even from the start, Star versus the high fantasy lore has been kind of inconsistent from the start. It's not the main focus. It was definitely there for intrigue, specifically with introducing villains and such. But when it comes to the specific, it didn't really make that the focus of the show. And that's why I say stuff like there's a lot of unanswered questions regarding the magic even now. But that doesn't really bother me too much because what drew me in was that I still believe this has probably one of my favorite depictions of romantic drama among youth. Because apart from just Star and Marco's chemistry and just how long it took them to both realize their feelings and actually act on it, it also gave a pretty good example of how it's very calm and collected, and both painful, awkward, and kind of heartwarming just to see these characters that get their feelings hurt but come back from it stronger. Like, I dug seeing what happened with Jackie at Breeda's Tacos, how she found her own life. I love how Tom basically struggled to reaffirm his feelings and ultimately realized it just wasn't a good match, and he was the one to decide that. The only big case where I didn't like that was with Kelly, and that's only because they ended it too quick. But even in the case of Kelly, I found her friendship with Margot back when he first got heartbroken captured it really well. So I pretty much left satisfied just with that aspect.
I see. And by the way, I'm talking to the live chat now. We'll get to your questions once we go through our thoughts on the impact of Star. Like, I know Squirtle the Turtle has another question, but we'll get to that once we wrap up here. So, Gabby, what do you have to say about the impact that Star had on you?
Hello there.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with Steven. The depiction of
Steven,
romantic relationships.
Can you turn off your camera for now?
Steve, that's you.
Oh,
Camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Gabby, continue, please.
Alright. So I did really enjoy the depictions of romantic relationships in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely felt like it reflected a little bit of what I had experienced. More than anything, though, what I got, or the impact the show left on me, came a lot more from the fan base. I'd already started getting back into cartoons. I don't really know if I should even say going back into, because when I wasn't really watching any straight-up cartoons, I was watching Japanese animation, so it was pretty much the same deal.
I still am.
Same here, but very limited.
But I never really found a place where I could really delve into the fandom as much as I have with Star vs. the Forces of Evil. So I am very grateful for that. You know, I've gotten to meet so many people. I've gotten to meet creators. I think this is the first show I could really say that I really got to meet and even come to know the people behind the show as much as I've ever experienced. So yeah. Also, I've always said from the beginning of the show that if I had grown up as a child with this show, I would be absolutely in love with it. And I am even at this point, you know, but it's kind of like there's nothing like the opportunity to grow up with an experience like that at a young age. And I think it's just great that somebody was able to make this, you know. It's very empowering. It's very liberating. And it gets you excited, it gets you sad, it gets you worried. It takes you all sorts of places, but at the end, you know, you're always in that good state of mind where it's like, wow, that was a really good story, you know, and it's just great. I love it.
Yeah. Jeffrey, what do you think? What impact did Star have on you?
Well, I could pretty much say that this show, even though I was kind of, again, I was late to the show.
Jeffrey, are you able to lower your camera a bit?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I was able to get into a little bit of season, I think around season 2 and stuff when I started watching, when they were just coming out of where Star was trying to fight back off Nudo and Toffee, but had the right wavelength, so to speak, on how the emotions go to how real life things come into play, even in specifics, even certain daunting tasks, difficulties through some of the characters and their emotions, and even some of the stuff that don't normally see in animation, especially moments where it's either intimate or rather interesting. But for somebody like me, who's also, I guess, an opposite as Gabby says, she's kind of younger in. I'm much older myself, 35 years old, so to speak. And this show really got me interested, even late in my age. And I think we need to have more shows like this. The only other show that I think kind of somewhat rivals this issue, even though it kind of almost has that slice of life theme, would be The Loud House. But Star Wars Force of Evil 2 also has this kind of thing. But it's up to the viewers to know that maybe they just need a little more effort for people to be able to watch it and see how it helps them in certain ways, how it helps real life problems, and how it all solves out. I think the show really should have deserved much more attention than what it should have been. But in the end, I hope someday the series might come out again in the future as a different saga. Maybe, maybe not. And besides, I also am followed by the creator herself on Twitter, and noted that she's kind of finds me as both interesting, intelligent, and intriguing. So I think there may be some elements in the show which might have fit my preference perfectly.
I see. Yeah, that's really cool, Jeffrey. I noticed that you're wearing a star button on your jacket, and so I put the one that Valentina gave me at the Blood Moon Ball.
Just thought I wanted to stay on theme.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so thank you, Jeffrey. You could turn your camera off, and yeah. So I could definitely say a lot of what you guys have said. I mean, this is a perfect example. This, Blood Moon Ball button that Valentina Ruiz gave me at the Gallery Nucleus event. It's a perfect example. I mean, Star was literally like the first show where, I certainly, went to events that were specifically related to the show, like Gallery Nucleus and the Toyzilla event. But I think it was also really the first time I cosplayed as Blood Moon Marco. This amazing costume was made by Mrs. was Anime Expo 2017, and I was really concerned that would people know who I am? Would people, like this cosplay? And much to my surprise, there was a lot of people who, really liked it. People would come, and say things like, "Hey, Marco," and they would want to take pictures. So I realized that, oh my God, Star has maybe not the biggest fan base, but definitely a very vocal and for the most part pretty friendly fan base. I mean, I could talk on and on about how amazing these story and characters are, but I think Star has also made an impact on not just my creative life, but also for the people, who helped me with this channel, Steven and Gabby. And it also, even for my sis, who admittedly is not really into Star vs. the Forces of Evil, she's made some really amazing art based on the show. And I think she really nails Darren Nefsey's art style. I mean, the logo you guys are looking at of me cosplaying as Blood Moon Marco, that was designed by my sis. And it got me into doing things like, with the help of my sis, designing shipping flags and learning how to use Adobe Illustrator. And it was after that Anime Expo 2017 that I decided that I was going to turn my old YouTube channel into what it is today with Blood Moon Bobby. And much to my surprise, through this channel I talk about other topics as well, but I've also connected with a lot of Star fans through this show. So overall, it just had probably one of the biggest impacts of any animated show I've seen in years. And as for the story and characters themselves, I haven't been this invested in a show since the Avatar: The Last Airbender days. So I really have to, thank Darren FC for making such an amazing show. And Jeffrey was mentioning how Darren follows him on Twitter. She follows me on Instagram. So yeah.
Yeah, And I think the flag that you have there, it shows that you're really a big fan of the show, and I think it shows a lot of spirit there. That's one thing I can appreciate right there. And Avatar: The Last Airbender, well, no surprise, that show is really good, and how it's formed, including its writing. By the way, do Dina, I am also friends with the very Aaron E. Hyde, who had wrote the entire 3 seasons of that show as well, so kind of a bonus there.
Maybe one of these days I could at least meet Aaron E. Haas. I'd really love, like, you know, when I first started meeting, like, members of Star Crew, like, I've met Darren FC, Ian Shear, and Adam MacArthur, I started to think, oh my god, I really should do this with other shows that I enjoyed. Like, Gabby, you know how, like, we've interviewed Ricky Simons many times, like, for Invader Zim? Gabby, I can't hear you. Gabby, are you there?
You there, Gabby? Gabby?
What happened?
I can't hear Gabby.
Oh.
I think I can hear
Yeah, you can hear you.
You can? I cannot. For some reason. Gabby.
Gabby, can you hear us?
Can I hear you? Can you hear me as well? Okay, gotcha.
So it's Bobby.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I can't quite hear. Gabby, do you think you could try reconnecting? Yeah, let's see if she could, like, let's have her reconnect and see if that solves the problem.
Oh,
Gabby,
gee,
there you
oh
are,
my-
there you are. Okay. Yeah, you could come back on camera, it's okay.
That was by accident. But hello, yes. What was the
No, I asked if you remembered all those times we interviewed Ricky Simons at the Long Beach Comic Con and Comic Expo.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I try to make a point of going over and saying hi whenever I see him, though I'm not sure how if he's really into it or not, you know, like people just coming over and saying hi, but I'm just like, yay, I know you may or may not remember me.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of get that feeling too. Well, now that the Invader Zim Into the Floor Puss is coming out on Netflix this summer, you know. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, at least I hope we get the chance to see him again and then tell him if Enter the Floor Puss is really good, then we could say, oh my god, that was so amazing, and Ricky and Gur was a lot of fun. What were you, Jeffrey,
yeah.
were you going to say something?
Yeah. Rocco's Modern Life, of course, is another thing I'm looking forward to myself. I actually happen to have the seasons 1, 2, and 3 DVD sets.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can get this on real quickly.
Oh, wow.
I was lucky to find this at Fry's Electronics.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so kind of lucky to say the least. Plus, I'm also friends with the creator Joe Murray on Facebook, too. So just want to put that out there.
Oh, hey, that's,
really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think we definitely went around talking about the impact Star had. I'll go through some of the live chats. Some of them aren't like things we have to answer completely. Some of them are just, you know, kind of nice things to hear. So I'll take a look. If you guys want to throw in your 2 cents, you know, be my guest. So let's see. What did I know that Heather Red Velvet Cosplay has been in here. Gabby, she says, agreed. I would have loved to have grown up with Star.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, let's see what else. Miles Cooper is back. What did he say? This was Darren's first show. The fact that she was able to get 4 seasons and a dedicated fan base that has stuck with the series for almost 6 or 7 years is a pretty awesome achievement. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, Jeffrey, Jefferson Hermosa Alvarado says hi.
Yeah, tell him to hi back and stuff. I'm still watching.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching it again through your YouTube feed by Roku, so I'm still seeing it.
Yeah, I got it on my tablet too, just looking at who's in there. Yeah, I see y'all guys.
All right.
Woo!
I know Squirrel the Turtle had a couple questions. Can I hear your guys' opinion on something? So do you think Marco getting stabbed should have gone somewhere instead of brushing it off like they did? You want to start again,
I agree.
Steven?
Yes.
Oh, well, actually, Gabby, you can go first.
I definitely agree. I thought it was. I was just waiting to see like the drama of that develop. Like, oh shoot, something's happening to Marco, but I guess not.
Yeah, Steven, what do you think?
Basically, the evil unicorn stabbed magic into Marco.
I can see that.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, I think it's obvious that was kind of one of the most surprising scenes there when Marco did get stabbed by that unicorn, but it was evil. And it almost represented something out of, I think, one of the mill horses that Solaria had or some sort, I would have thought.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay, and Squirtle the Turtle asks, do you guys think that there is going to be another problem with monsters and humans? I think I'll start for this one here because I had this idea in my head. I think it's going to be more like now that the monsters are on better terms with humans. I mean, sure, there's probably going to be one or two fringy people who, are still like that. But I wouldn't be surprised, and I think Valentina brought this up in the last discussion, that we might see humans and Echo Creek, citizens clash. Because, she brought up how it's are they gonna get used to it? We saw, a spider climb on top of somebody's house and the people ran out screaming. But, I don't know. What do you guys think? Gabby?
I think ultimately there will be some form of, how should I say it, integration.
Yeah?
Like you said, though, there's always going to be those people who have trouble with the transitioning or just not going to mesh well with others at all.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it past them if they do end up making some sort of continuation to it that it's going to be an even more kind of split up kind of conflict where it's not only having trouble between humans and monsters, but humans, monsters, and humans.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, if the way they cover the whole thing in the show, it already gives that vibe. And if we really look at it, humans seem to be that in between with humans and monsters, and let me tell you, those kinds of situations get very messy very quick. So yeah.
Yeah, just the sound of it sounds really messy. Jeffrey, what were you gonna say?
Well, I could pretty much say there will be tensions and stuff, but I think the only two people who might be able to actually resolve all of this, of course, it would usually be Star and Marco, because I know there are a couple, but I think those are the two who'd be able to get humans to get along with the humans and monsters, while Star does her part to get humans and monsters to get along, as well as getting along with the humans. I think that's one concept that probably would work.
Steven, what do you think?
I'm pretty much in an agreement. I think there's another way to describe the whole complaint about it being rushed. It feels like almost like the opposite side of get to the point is no, milk it for all it's worth. Because I do think there's a lot of scenes where they could have sort of milked the drama, just milked whatever you could out of these dynamics, just so we could have an even clearer idea of what this monumental event could do.
I see. Okay, so what else is there? Squirtle Turtle says.
Also, Bobby, can you move closer to the mic? Because you seem to be the most quiet of us all.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I could try. I don't really have a lot of space to. Or wait a minute. Let me turn down my mic so maybe I could move it to a slightly closer place. How does this sound?
Yeah, that's much better.
That's definitely better.
Okay, yeah, I probably should have put that here from the start. But let me go through some more. Squirrel Turtle says, you guys, if you haven't, should read the SVTFOE comics by Morning Mark. He has a new comic about life after the new Cleaved Mutiny or yeah, I've read his comics. I know he's playing on the whole Meteora and Mariposa relationship. Like, I know he's making a comic about that. He even starts off, I don't know if you guys have seen it, he even starts off by doing like a parody of the Gravity Falls intro, where he's like, summer is all nice and cool, and then Meteora and Mariposa crash through the Welcome to Echo Creek sign. So, I don't know if you guys have checked that out, but I think I know what he's talking about.
Actually, I just watched that I actually saw that comic earlier today, believe it or not. When I was looking around through some of the normal Tumblr accounts I have on my bookmarks and such on Firefox.
Yep. Steven, did you check it out?
I don't think so.
Oh.
And I think Taylor just joined in, but we can't see her. Okay, we see her now.
Oh, hey Taylor.
Hey.
Alright,
Yeah, we're reading live chat right now.
But we can go back to,
Welcome back, Taylor.
Yeah, welcome back, Taylor.
Hi, everyone.
Alright. But Taylor, did you want to talk about the impact that Star had on you?
Sure, of course. So, I really appreciate Star for...
Actually, do you want to come back on camera, Taylor?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, there we go.
Hi. I am so thankful for Star, and especially for the friends that I have made, like you guys, through the events, and especially Star's unlike most shows, considering the fact that we are so fortunate enough to have the cast be so interactive with us and have had the opportunity to meet them along with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely reflects what we had to say. And it was really cool that we were able to meet through this show. Alright, thank you, Taylor. Good.
Okay.
Go back to audio. Alright, what else was I going to say? Heather had this to say. I'm glad that people like your cosplay, but trust me, never fear cosplaying characters because you might not be recognized. Cosplay them because you love them, and someone will appreciate it. Yeah, definitely, Heather. I do have other ideas for cosplays aside from like Star-related characters. Like, I've considered cosplaying as the boy character from Pokemon Diamond. I've seen the character from the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Sword and Shield. I mean, the design is okay, but I didn't find it as iconic as the Pokemon Diamond one. And also, yeah, I would like to cosplay as maybe like Dipper Pines one day. I cosplayed as him last Halloween and actually did a video in character where he's talking about Apple products. So yeah, definitely. And by the way, Gabby? Gabby? Are you still there? Uh-oh. We having trouble hearing you again?
Lost Bobby again, Gabby?
Hold on. Let's see. I think she's coming back.
We got the drill under control. We got this. Hey.
Okay. All right.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. What's up?
Now, I was just about to tell you. Somebody mentioned Bloody Marco. You know, kind of like Bloody Gur.
I saw that. I didn't get what they were referring to though. I'm drawing a blank. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, somebody. Do you know what Bloody Gur is, Gabby?
No.
No.
I don't think I do.
Like,
No.
it's this Easter egg that in some of the episodes in Invader Zim, you could see, like, a split-second image of Gur transparent, and he's, like, covered in blood. Like, it's almost like, it's kind of like that thing in The Godfather where there's, like, that, secret image that, it's like an Easter egg.
Yeah, kind of like in a Fight Club, too, right?
I wouldn't...
Kind of thing?
but it's that kind of like Easter egg thing, and I've seen.
Wouldn't.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I wouldn't put it past Jonan Vasquez either. He would absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, considering
Shout out
is,
to Invader Zim movie coming to Netflix.
Yeah,
Woo!
I mean, considering
Enter
that.
The floorboards!
Yeah, considering that this is the guy who made Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, I'm not surprised.
Oh yeah, I
at all.
showed you
Cool.
that comic.
Yeah.
I loved it though, and I laughed so hard when they made a reference to it in the show. A room with a moose.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know where that came from, I highly suggest. Granted, if making sure that you're old enough to actually read this, because it's pretty crazy. Take a look at Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Very great comic book. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely. What was I gonna say?
You get a live surgery from a serial killer teaching a kid what a brain looks like.
In an effort to calm his nerves, nonetheless.
It was very educational.
Yeah.
It started to that part starts to remind me of one 80s movie again, where apparently there was a dentist who worked on the teeth of. This actually came from the 80s movie, Little Shop of Horrors. Apparently,
Oh,
that
I
dentist
love
scene.
Little Shop
That's
of
what it
Horrors.
started to remind me of a little bit.
Oh, you're mentioning Little Shop of Horrors, and look who I got over here.
Audrey.
No,
Hello.
Kill it.
It's adorable. It hasn't asked me for blood yet.
That-
I'm keeping it.
That thing is gonna be eating subways in downtown New York by the end.
It looks cool anyway. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, well, what's going on here? Jefferson Hermosa Alvarado. I don't get what you said. Marco and his spirit Japanese. What do you mean? Japanese spirit in that he does karate, or
What? Where is that? I don't see it. Oh, Marco and his. What the heck? Perhaps a little bit of a elaboration on that.
Yeah, sorry, Jefferson, if you could elaborate on that. What's Squirrel's Turtle say? Star had a season 5, I think the... Oh, wait, I don't know how to answer that, never mind. Bro, I really want SVTFOE Funko Pops. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think even, by the way, this amazing, Star fan art, that I got from the Gallery Nucleus, does it say... Yeah, I think it's from Becky Dreistadt, in case you're wondering what am I holding. But anyway, yeah, definitely more Star Funko Pops. I think even Darren Nefsey was, giving some ideas of, not officially anyway, but, some Funko Pops that she would like to see. But me personally, I think it would be really cool if we could see, Blood Moon Star Marco, maybe Eclipsa, the Magic High
Funko Pops. Screw Funko Pops. Nendoroids for the win.
If you say so. But,
Okay.
But
I don't care. Cuteness is better than money. It's worth it.
These are cheaper and they're cute. Okay.
It doesn't matter with
Fight
me.
Fight me.
I will fight you. You must all buy Nendoroids over Funko Pop.
Are you turning into an Nendoroid sales person?
Man,
Darren
shameless
Nefsey, get on
self-promoter
that.
right here, right there.
Get us a Nendoroid of Star and Marco.
That would be cool. If they made an Android of Star, that would be the second Nendroid that I'd be completely interested in. There's one other that I am really interested in. It's from an old anime called Majin Tante no Gami Neuro, which is
Oh yeah, I
kind
know.
of- yeah, it's a supernatural detective. Ogami Noto, that's just his name. So I do know what you're talking about, Steven. They are very, very cool, but they are very, very hard to come by. So yeah.
Here's the thing. You can
You wait.
um, just for comparison, try typing Overwatch Funko Pop, then compare it to the Nendoroid.
Overwatch has
It's night and day. Oh yeah.
What? Has it been that long? It has been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Should I show some pictures just so that people know what we're talking about?
These are Nendoroids.
Oh hey, yeah, that would be
really freaking cool.
Yeah, that would be really
These
cool.
have so much more character. Funko Pops just have blank eyes.
But they're more accessible.
I don't care. I will pay the $60 if they have a Nendoroid. It'll be my very first Nendoroid.
Go out to the middle of who knows where in a dark alleyway. Hey, you got those Nendroids, man. I got the money.
Oh man, look at the comment. Squirtle the Turtle just said, hee hee hee, how about Starco Child Funko Pop?
Wait, what? Where?
Oh gosh, what is that?
That's interesting.
Just make a Funko Pop of Cressy Butterfly. Just make a Funko Pop of Cressy Butterfly or Nendoroid or yeah.
I would definitely like.
Did you say Cressy Butterfly, Bobby?
Yeah, like why not? I mean, okay, she's fan art, but I'm just saying if there's like, what's to it, Jeffrey?
I think I have.
I think I like that idea. I actually like it.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of
okay.
like what they did with the dragons in How to Train Your Dragon.
So you want those dragon bikes? The dragon cycle?
The dragon bikes! That would be cool.
Yeah.
Though for me, I think the one Funko Pop I would absolutely buy in a heartbeat is Eclipsa. Anything Eclipsa. Just
I can see that.
Take my money!
Yeah.
I'd be willing to.
I'd be chocolate every day.
I'd be willing to go for the.
Okay.
I'd be willing to go for the Prince outfit of Marco Diaz. Actually, his outfit and stuff. I'd really be going for that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've like speaking of cosplay ideas, I've even like discussed the idea of maybe with my cousin Anna. I don't know if she's watching the stream, but we talked about this idea of cosplaying as Song Day star Marco. The only thing about that, because I really want to cosplay as Song Day Marco one of these days, it just doesn't make sense without somebody to cosplay as Song Day, a star with the white gown. The only problem is, where are you going to find a gown like that without having to sell an arm and a leg, you know?
Oof, yeah, that's the tough part.
Yeah.
I have to do it with a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was talking...
materials little by little.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Rebecca Gibson, you know, Rosie G Cosplay on Instagram, and she was like, maybe you could find the materials at, like, bargain shops, but even then, I'm not really sure.
You could, but the problem with stuff like that, I mean, I'm thinking kind of like a secondhand shop of sorts. It's really hard to know what they're going to have in stock, because it's just random, you know. So that's the tough part. But I mean, in essence, you can.
By the way, Gabby, you're kind of sounding a bit muffled.
Yeah, you sound like you're underwater.
Is that better?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, were you covering the microphone?
Yeah, I think I accidentally was.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Mariposa and Meteora Funko Pops. Interesting comment there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'd be down for a Meteora one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think both of them. They need to be together. Yeah.
Oh, my head's kind of itchy. Yeah, people keep bringing up either Toffee or Globgore. Like, that's not... like, okay, yeah, Globgore, yeah.
Tiny form. Globgore in his tiny form would be absolutely adorable.
That would be perfect for one of the miniature edition of the Funko Pops. That would be so perfect, yes.
I could see that, like, having Eclipsa and then have, like, a tiny little Globgore that you could put on her shoulder or something. I want that to be a thing now so bad.
all the
They
time.
did a Hedwig one?
They did a Hedwig?
That must be adorable.
But what was I gonna say?
That would be cool, yeah. I got really excited because I saw the Agretsuko one. She's just like huge, and then she's doing the the horns. It just was her demonic face. It's just like
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see maybe like a mini Globgore and the big Globgore. Maybe like Globgore wearing that outfit he wore in the Monster Hunter Queen episode.
By the way, who voiced?
that'd be so cute.
By the way, who voiced Globgore?
Oh, it was this guy from like telenovelas and Mexican movies. Or, like,
Okay, because he
Spanish-
sounded
in Spanish.
familiar, but I wasn't sure.
Yes. Let me what I can't remember his name. I'm
Jaime
really bad
Camille?
with names.
It was
Ooh,
Jaime
Jaime Camille.
Camille, isn't it? I have a lot of trouble pronouncing his name, but Gabby, did you hear that?
Kind of. What was it?
It was Jaime Camille.
Jaime Camille.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was considered a perfect voice actor for Globgore, I can tell you that. Very good selection.
He really was. See, this is like I grew up with him. Like,
Oh wow.
if you guys know, we had this show called Betty La Fea, in Spanish. That's been like in all different countries. Like it's been in Argentina, it's been in Mexico. I think it's been somewhere else. I think now they're doing her in New York. But there was a version called La Fea Más Bella, or the most beautiful ugly girl. Lost in translation, guys. But this guy came out.
Yeah, the prettiest
And
ugly,
so I basically-
ugly girl. Yeah, if that's
Yeah.
the translation, the prettiest ugly girl.
Yeah, pretty much. And this guy was like the main crush on the show. Like he was the guy she was supposedly going to end up with, and once I figured out it was him doing the voice, I was just like, how is this going to work? And oh my god, it was just
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised for like a very last minute part. You know, he does really well, like both being the really gentle husband as well as the guy who's very, protective of his family.
oh yeah. You were saying, Taylor?
Taylor? Did we lose her? Taylor, are you there?
Yeah, she's there. We can hear her.
Oh, great. Are we having issues on?
No, we can hear her.
I can hear her, but I think
Taylor.
she's backed off a little bit on the microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Bobby, can you hear her?
Yeah, I can, but you sound kind of faint.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll try to.
Okay,
speak
there
loud.
you go, Taylor.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Now I hear you well.
Mhm.
He portrays Rogelio de la Vega on Jane the Virgin, and I'm not sure if you guys watch, but he is a telenovela star on there. And also, I read in an article that Eden, the voice of Star, is gonna also be on Jane the Virgin.
I never
Oh,
watched-
that's perfect.
I never watched Jane the Virgin, but someone in my TV production class brought it up, so I know basically the premise behind it. It's crazy.
Oh yes, it is getting
I've
so
heard
good.
of it.
It's been
I've heard
the
of
interesting thing I
Uh-huh.
heard about it is that you mentioned telenovela. It's kind of one of those meta shows where it's kind of self-aware of the tropes that telenovelas play around with, especially the main character.
Mm-hmm.
How did this pass by me then?
It was a CW show, so I don't know, maybe you didn't catch it.
Like, I had no idea it was about that. I didn't even figure it would have anything to do with it. But-
Well, now you
Oh,
now you
okay.
got 100 episodes to watch now. Get on it.
Oh, dear goodness.
Did I mention?
I mean, if it's anything like if it's anything like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I'm gonna get completely stuck on it. Because I just absolutely loved Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Too bad I'm not a fan of those shows, unfortunately, myself.
Ah, well. What was I gonna say? No. Oh, I was about to say, funny enough, like, my former professor said that she actually one day came across the crew of Jane the Virgin filming, and when she posted on Instagram, I actually tried asking her, did you see, was Jaime Camille there? And I didn't get a response. Would have been cool.
Wow.
Cool to have met him, though. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know, is there too much more we could say? Because I think we got, a lot of the things down in the live chat. I mean, Squirtle the Turtle said when he first saw Globgore, he thought he was going to have a low and scratchy voice. I actually thought Globgore was going to have a low voice. I don't know about scratchy, but... yeah.
I can't really think of a voice that I had in mind for Globgore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did Miles Cooper say? Wait, I want to hear or see someone do a cover of the Stay in Muni's song. And he said the song that Eclipse and Globgore sang at the coronation. Yeah, I would like to see maybe somebody like singing the song while cosplaying as Eclipse. And would it be possible to cosplay as Globgore?
I think it would be.
Or would it just look like, it looks like somebody who's supposed to be on The Lion King on Broadway?
That works too.
Hold on, I'm gonna be off for now.
Oh, okay.
Catch you later, Steve.
Alright, see you, Steven. Okay, but anyway... And you know what I really wanted at the end of Star? Because I'm such a Starco shipper. I actually thought it would have been cool if they ended with, like, some sort of pop song. Like, kind of like, Gabby, I've been telling you, how in the 90s Disney films, they usually end with, like, some soft rock pop version of one of the songs that was in the movie?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like A Whole New World and Beauty and the Beast. I was like, ooh, maybe...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like...
And we're back.
You're back?
Oh,
yep.
We're back.
Okay.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, I just had to close the door for a moment.
Okay. That's cool. I don't know, I kind of feel, but that's just me kind of just being, a dumb, being a silly Disney fan. It's just like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool? I don't know, is Patrick Stump capable of, like, soft rock and pop? I've never heard him try...
Oh my god, is he? Is he?
Hey, I'm not, I don't follow Fall Out Boy that closely. You have to tell me these things, Gabby.
Okay.
Oh, she's kidding. Look out.
What the heck was that?
No, I'm kidding. Don't get the wrong idea, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He actually made a solo album called Soul Punk, where it's kind of like that. It's more like a popish kind of like funky type of rock.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to look at that, I'd say look there.
Yeah.
And see if you can kind of see it in that style.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just.
I see. Squirtle Turtle, what did you say? Gosh, I want to see Star Marco 10 years from now. And yeah, I'd also like to see that. That was why I brought up I would like to see them do like a Star like sequel series. Like, although this was before Magic was destroyed, so now, like, I think technically it could happen, but would they have to bring Magic back? Like, wouldn't they? Because if they don't, then it would just Star would end up just being kind of like a slice of life show with some fantastical elements, but I don't really know. Like, do you guys think that they could still do like a sequel series down the line?
I still think it's possible. But like I said, give about 2 or 3 years, we'll see what Darren will say.
I feel like if it was going to happen, I'd see it like Jeffrey saying, I more than anything see a movie or comic continuation
Mm-hmm.
is a lot more feasible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, definitely because a movie is technically one project, and a comic, since it doesn't involve the Disney animation crew, that could definitely happen.
Yeah.
Man,
What about you, Steven?
Squirrel's really going for that issue of seeing Star and Marco be where they're at 10 years later. I could see that again.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely remember being at the Toyzilla event, and Adam was like, "Oh, I'd like to see, like a continuation somewhere down the line where Marco now has his own Marco Jr., if you know what I mean."
Oh, I remember that one.
Oh,
I was there at that event.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
man.
know how to feel about that.
And the dreaded issue of Parenthood. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Miles Cooper, you said, well, I've got to take off. This was fun. Catch you on the flip side, fellas. See you later, Miles. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I'm glad that this stream has so far been going a lot better than the last one. So yeah, thank you for tuning in once again. What was I going to say? Star Marco 10 years from now. But yeah, I definitely think a reboot would be kind of cool. But, Steven, did you give your 2 cents on that?
On what?
A reboot years later.
Well, reboot specifically means that literally they're now getting back from the start, and I'm kind of open to
I think
more.
we're looking more of a continuation.
Yeah, I should use that word instead.
I wouldn't even say that, because I think I'm more comfortable with just an epilogue.
An epilogue, so more like a prequel type thing?
No, prequel
Like
would
how
be...
it started?
No, a prequel would be...
I get you, like in the Harry Potter book, where they talk about a little bit about what happens afterwards.
Something like that,
kinda, close it up. Okay.
But more like more just expanding into how everyone's dealing with the situation, what their current dynamics are like years later. Just something to give an idea of time passing.
Yeah.
Basically, like they're getting older and stuff, and see what their life is currently at this time. Maybe even see if they actually have a child of their own, actually, even.
Why are we still talking about that?
Because literally Echo Creek would not shut up about it on Brita's Tacos. Remember how everyone pretty much assumed that Marco had a kid at this point? And it actually makes sense the more they keep bringing it up, because I kept on thinking, why are they keep on assuming Marco is a dad? It's like, oh, that's right, he dropped out of school, technically. And then he shows up with a kid.
I see it too often and stuff. And again, many of the people who make the comics and stuff, especially 2 people in particular on Tumblr. Oh, there's lost somebody.
Yeah.
But 2 people in particular already have that in the bag about their future characters for Star and Marco's child.
I gotta say, for a kids show, that was pretty. That was pretty surprising. Like, wow, we're bringing single young dads into the picture. Kids are learning early now.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it makes sense in these times.
Yeah. Taylor, what do you think? Like, would you like to see a continuation? Taylor, are you there? Oh, no.
Yeah, she's there.
Can you try getting back on camera? Because I think that's what worked last time.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So what do you think of the idea of a continuation?
So that would be neat, but I respect any decision that will be made. My idea, should a continuation occur, would be, like you said, a spin-off to see how things are years down the line, and maybe Star and Marco's children, or even related but unrelated, the former queens. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. And speaking of the former queen, somebody, who is this? ASEN 760. Is that Andrew? Do you know?
That is Andrew.
Okay. He suggested, what if they do a series about the former Queens of Muni and how everything was set up for Star? And he said, like, over the garden wall length. I'll start for this one. Me personally, if they were to do something like that, I think it would be kind of like, I heard there was, like, for the Disney Pixar movie Brave, they did, like, an animated short that chronicled, like, one of the prophecies in the movie. Like, I could see, I mean, who knows, maybe they'll do that, kind of like an online short, I guess. I mean, I know the history of Muni is too complicated to, go over every single thing in one short, but I'm talking, realistically, like, I could probably see them doing something like that. Yeah, what do you guys think? Steven?
Hello.
Or
Oh, yes,
Gabby?
hi, I am back.
Hello again, Gabby.
What did I miss?
Oh, Gabby, we got a question here asking, what if they did a short series that was about the former Queens of Muni, and it's kind of like over the garden wall length.
Oh my god. I can see that, and I absolutely love the idea. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know if anybody of you guys remember, but pretty much what got me back into, like, particularly Cartoon Network was Over the Garden Wall. I came across it some random night with two friends of mine. We just found the first episode somewhere. I don't even remember where, but then we just ended up watching. I just ended up watching all of it, even after they left, and I love it so much. I love it so much. So yeah, anything like Over the Garden Wall, just totally be down for.
Steven, what do you think of the idea?
Can you give it a repeat?
Yeah, what if they did a mini-series about the Queens of Muni, and it was kind of like Over the Garden Wall in terms of it being a mini-series?
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not against it, but now here's the thing. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant to go over it because I kind of feel like it's just gonna amount to sort of repeated information of stuff. I mean, the only stuff that I'd probably be interested in is maybe the stuff with Selena the Shy, because there's implications of, more so than others, her implications with Muni. But regarding stuff like Solaria or Festivia or some of the other ones, I feel like I already got a general idea of what their rules were like.
Well, yeah, but that's why we're not really necessarily talking about a concept where you're going over the rule, like the time periods where each queen ruled. It's more so, from what I imagine, it's something going through like the personalities of the queens. Because have you seen Over the Garden Wall, Steven?
Yeah, no, I haven't actually. I think
Okay.
it's because it's just because I don't like the color of fall.
Oh, but I mean, if just to give you a bit of an idea, the whole thing with Over the Garden Wall is that pretty much it's like going into the afterlife.
Okay, now I'm interested because that's literally one of my favorite themes. Like,
yes,
that's literally my first script.
Yeah,
Kyra?
I mean, like, there's even one particular character that if you follow, you take note of their name, and then you look at the graveyard at the beginning of the movie, or, well, like, TV series, and you see his name written on one of the tombstones, and that's what sets the whole kind of, like, idea that, okay, we're looking at people who have passed away, and you get to look at, like, different time periods, but more so as, like, places rather than times, if that makes sense.
Kyra's definitely got a fictional fan art basically forming on that recently, actually. I've been reading up a little bit on her latest fan art, and she started to use that concept.
Okay.
But usually the spell book is the one that gives us a heads up of all the princesses. Basically has what they had and whatnot, but I'm not sure if it gives the full details. But I still think that's kind of a concept they already have. So.
Oh, by the way, Squirtle just mentioned. Wow, you guys know each other. Did you guys meet at the Star Versus event? I actually helped film Bobby during his interview with Darren Nefsey. We were there at the gallery visit with Gabby, essentially.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was the human marker flapper thing.
Yes, you posted where we have to stand. But yeah, essentially how it went is I mentioned to Gabby that I was watching a specific show, and Gabby was like, oh, is it the show that I'm thinking? It's like, I don't know. Let me send you an image. And so we ended up being just obsessed with the show. Then we basically peer pressured Bobby into watching it, and he became more obsessed with it than either of us.
Legit, we sat him down on the couch. We typically used to do what we called art film marathons. Is that how we called them?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I basically would show either anime or foreign films or even some Oscar stuff that we never actually got to. But one day said, you know what, screw it, let's not make it a movie. Let's just show him the show.
And it was the best decision ever. I do not regret it at all.
Yeah, we're trying to get him into Final Space that way.
I still need to finish Final Space. I need to sit down and watch the dang thing. It was too good.
You just need 4 more episodes.
Oh boy, they're peer pressuring you, Bobby.
Feels, guys.
Yes.
I'm already getting feels. I'm not ready for this. I never thought I'd have such a connection with a character named after a fruit. But it happened.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I think I've told this story quite a few times through my videos, but I still remember that day. I was I'll be honest, I was really skeptical because I remember, I think you guys mentioned it in our Facebook group chat once, and I'm like, what is this? And then I watched the show. I literally got up and just started saying, where has the show been in my entire life?
Yes,
because
I remember that. We finished the first episode, and you just stood up from the couch, and you're like, where has this been all my life?
It's so weird, because I wasn't expecting, a really great story, but I just, I really like the dynamic. I really like Star's character. It's like what Steven's saying. It's like, oh my god, she's happy and hyper, but she's not annoying. She has her moments of being chill. It's like, oh my god. And then when I saw, and admittedly, even though this is a great disgrace to the Starco shippers, I didn't actually ship Starco right away. I just saw that Star and Marco, it's they're living together. I thought that was cool, but I just took them as friends. I didn't think it was cool or anything to see them as a couple. Is Steven stepping out?
Oh yeah.
And but when I saw, it actually took me a few viewings of the Blood Moon Ball. And then, so as I started watching that episode of Blood Moon Ball, and, I saw that ending scene where the moon came down on... Let me actually move over to Gabby. The moon came down on, Star's tower. I'm like, yes! Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if it was midway through the first season or at the end of it, where we get to the first climax with Toffee.
Yeah?
That is the main memory I have of anything that has literally, genuinely made my jaw drop. I still remember just kind of how taken aback I was at the fact that a show that had been so upbeat, so kind of feel goodsy, just kind of oh, you watch it to feel good because it's cute and it's fun and it's awesome. But then they just take you there, and you're just like, whoa. I was in the car. Going somewhere. Cause I'm like, what's gonna happen on this show? It's like I'm like what 4 or 5 episodes in. I have no freaking idea. And we get to that part, and I'm just in the back seat, taken aback, speechless. Like, what the heck did I just watch?
I will say, regarding reaction similar to that, when I got to pretty much the end of season 2, when they left on that confession and leaving, the gap that it left in me, to give you an idea of just how bad it got for me emotionally, I'm trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, I ended up basically just stalking the Star versus Reddit page just for any fan art I could find. The folder that I have from just images of Starco and Starco related stuff is, let's see, because I basically just started saving files everywhere. It ranges around 660 images.
Are you sure it's the right folder, Steven?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I have a separate folder for Hekapoo.
Okay, that is definitely tons.
Yeah, that's how much the relapse was, just because of what a stinger it left towards the season 2 finale. And I do have to admit, I haven't felt as obsessed as I was towards that end, because season 3 kind of ends in a really weird way after the battle for Muni, and Bobby can attest to this with Lintcatcher. So basically, I definitely get just how you felt similar to that, because I had a similar case for me in a different spot in the show, especially with Running with Scissors. That episode will always stick with me.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that, where we all just got to like meet Hekapoo for the first time, and I remember you just being like, I like her.
Yeah, well, also it would be the first episode we get to see the infamous adult Marco as well.
Honestly,
it's Abs Marco, okay? Abs Marco.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Honestly, my favorite shot. Honestly, my favorite shot in that episode is still that one point where, and I guess this may be a complaint. I do think this episode. This series is definitely, I think, inconsistent with its directing at times and story reporting, because rarely do I get moments like this. My favorite moment from Running with Scissors is just this moment when Star asks Marco if, what about all the people that you're leaving in mind, and she, at the very end, includes herself in that, and it's just this moment where Marco looks back at the dimensional scissors he just got. He opens them, and it basically, on one side is his face, on the other side is hers. There's just, I just wish like some more episodes were as cleverly storyboarded as that one, because I missed those images.
Aww.
It was the sign of where Starco was probably just getting more interesting, so to speak.
Yep.
At least in that. But also, it seems that out of the times that we've seen the episodes that have Marco as an adult, it seems we've never seen Star grow up. We never see her as an adult. I don't know why they never did that.
Honestly, I'm okay with that, just because a lot of season 4 was about her taking responsibility after she was kind of losing herself in season 3. Because I'll definitely say this: season 3 is probably showcasing Star at her worst. Like, it definitely showcased her worst attributes. And season 4, because she's put into a place, basically a role of more responsibility, I think that was her growing up here, period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I wanted to answer the question that Miles asked us earlier. What's your favorite moment from the show? So, Gabby, since you're on camera, I'll let you go first.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite moment from Star?
Okay. Gosh, that's tough. I don't know if it would be a part, but as far as the plot goes, I just really loved watching the whole story of Eclipsa just unraveling, because I will admit I have a soft spot for kind of dark characters, but something about Eclipsa, just right when I met her, I'm like, she can't be all that bad. She can't be, and just getting to know what happened with her and just kind of seeing that you don't necessarily have to have issues. You don't necessarily have to be like this really messed up person just to have that kind of dark sort of vibe to you. I just really, really loved that, because I feel like in any other situation with a character like Eclipsa, they just would have found no other option but to make them actually evil. And I'm just so happy to see an example where that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah. Taylor said that she needed to head it off soon. So, Taylor, what did you want to say for your favorite moment?
I think it's also really hard to have a favorite moment, but the part I think that is one of the best is Muberty, when after Star's in her Muberty form and she goes up in the sky with Oscar and Marco's down there crying until the little purple flowers, hearts, fall down. I think that was the true moment, at least in my opinion, where he fell in love with Star, and he might have known it or was close to knowing it. I think that was a very early and definitive Starkville moment.
Steven, were you going to say that scene from Running with Scissors?
Yep. I mean, it's the only scene that I specifically edited just to time it with a different language. So yeah. I'll think of if I have another scene just to make it not repetitive. So, anyone else?
I have to go now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you, Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Night, Taylor.
Bye.
All right. Jeffrey, name your favorite moment.
Well, I think the only favorite moment I could probably bring up would be the moment that Star gets her third one and transforms into her new butterfly form, which I think is most intriguing, interesting, and beyond anything I would see of a character. And yet, somehow, during her transformation, she was able to be somewhat in control and was able to defeat Toppy in one foul swoop with a mega blast beyond anything. And Marco is, she was feeling very happy inside and even was almost on the verge of crying when he saw her come out of some other dimension and then was able to transform into this beautiful yellow golden butterfly that was of Star. I think this was considered the moment that things were going to get real interesting. And maybe later on throughout that initial season, I think it would come in handy if Marco wanted to help her gain control of her butterfly form in that return. So I think that's my moment right there.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you, Jeffrey, because I just remember Steven described that moment as breathtaking. And the thing is, in that particular scene, Butterfly Mode Star, aka God Mode Star, Heather likes to call her. I have the Butterfly Mode Funko Pop that Valentina gave me. Thank you once again. And yeah, mainly because I don't think any of us saw that, coming. Like, I think we knew that Muberty would come back in some way because Star had the wings. But, I thought, like, oh, is the wings gonna grow out and, Star's gonna get, like, really big wings at some point? But I think for me, it was just because in that scene, a lot of us were scared that Star was dead. But, she was in that, at the time we didn't know, but she was in the magic dimension, which, had its magic sucked out by Toffee. And even though, like, I knew that she was coming back, it still felt really funereal. Like, I was just, like, panicking in my head. How is Star gonna get back? How is Star gonna get back? And then, of course, she puts her hands in Glassrook soup, and boom, she's, butterfly mode Star. Like, I definitely say, as far as the show's many twists go, that's definitely my favorite of them.
I will say you mentioned I said her new form was breathtaking. I'll say my other favorite moment was actually in the same episode as Running with Scissors, but it was the one before. It was when she met the cat that says interesting, and specifically toward the end. And I will say, if there's anything that'd make me join in your disappointment about erasing magic and not using it, it's probably this moment. It's when Star feels like she failed her exam, and right at the end, I don't remember, like a drop or something, but essentially this apple seed just grows slowly and the music builds up, and it's the music in particular with that, it's almost like like something straight out of like a Ghibli lo-fi remix. And you just see the animation of this tree just growing out of it, and gracefully, just a perfect apple growth. If there's anything to make me go, okay, magic is definitely a missed opportunity here, is that, because that whole scene is gorgeous. I really wish there was another scene like that was in later seasons, because that was that moment in particular. That's when I felt magic was strongest in the show.
Definitely. And you bring up that scene again, and it kind of cuts to like one of the kind of things that I wish they explained more. In that, remember at the end of the episode, the cat baby says, "Oh, with Star's magic, I haven't seen somebody this powerful since Queen Eclipsa."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did they
but
really...
But then when they reveal Eclipse, it's pretty much just more purple version of Star's magic blast. I do wish that if we saw something more akin to that, like magic literally changing the landscape.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still wondering what exactly do they mean when they say that. Because, like, in some ways I do get what they mean with Eclipsa, because she's definitely really powerful, especially with using darker magic spells. But in the case of Star, like, in other ways, Star is a step above, like, Eclipsa, just in terms of up until the end of the series, we don't really see her go into a butterfly form. And, Star was able to use magic without a wand, but so could Moon. So I was just, like, left kind of confused.
Yeah, I would say Battle for Muni, I think, is the furthest the show ever got regarding magic just getting weird.
Yeah.
Like, that whole dive she did into the wand, meeting Toffee as Toffee is, like, polluting the magic right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, come to think of it, does anyone have an explanation for why exactly was the magic being polluted again? Because I'm guessing it wasn't Mina, and it wasn't Eclipsa. So what was polluting? Yeah, what was polluting the magic well? Because it seemed more similar to what Toffee was doing rather than those two.
I think Toffee would have some involvement with it, but I thought there was always another source and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of cuts back to a bit of Toffee's irony, because, like, obviously he's super anti-magic, but how exactly did he pollute the realm of magic?
Oh my god, what? I have now crazy headcanon. You know how oh, sorry. This will be put on pause.
What? Okay. Wow, he just took off. What did Heather just say? I wish they would have kept calling her Godstar like in the storyboards.
Ooh, I
But
want to see what this surprise
But I
is.
definitely expected it to be called something different if they made merch.
Okay.
Just surprised.
Yeah?
Okay. You know how towards the end of the second to last episode, Toffee was there to give one more surprise,
Yeah.
and you know how, no, basically, Toffee ended up being in the right because essentially it went as planned for him. Magic did get destroyed, but then magic was also used to bring Star and Marco back together by fusing Muni with the human world. What if he was the Loki shipper of the entire franchise?
Ooh. Now that would be a surprise.
Yeah, even though
He polluted the magic well just so he can inject magic into Marco so that can all happen.
Ooh, revenge. No wonder why Mina followed Star and Marco over into the Earth world during the first 2 seasons. Huh.
Yeah, come to think of it. You know, that brings up another thing, because, like, I remember I was talking with my sis, and she was like, why did they make Mina a villain? Did you guys think that Mina and Meteora kind of came out of nowhere as villains?
Though honestly, even though that's the case, I honestly found the big monster version of Meteora more threatening than Mina. She felt more like an appropriate villain just because she was the rightful heir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just felt that was kind of weird. I mean, I know, like, I was able to take Mina seriously as a villain, I will say that. But it is I will say she's kind of a strange choice for, like, the final villain. Like, just in terms of, it was this, like, kind of crazy person who, although admittedly she did have, some of Solaria's magic. But, I don't know. It just kind of felt, like, a bit strange to me. Like, Gabby, what do you think?
Humanity went, because when you first meet her, you're like, oh, she's quirky but lovable, but she means well.
I will say, I think another factor for me is just I find the design of the Solarian Knights just as these giant versions of empty armor. I just found it kind of goofy. Yep.
The other thing, though, like, after that, you kind of see her go from just, like, funny to, like, oh, shoot, she's a little controversial, because she doesn't take too kindly to monsters. Antiquated ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see just where those ideas came from, just how strongly ingrained they're in, and then you're like, oh, dear God, what kind of person is she? And yeah, she does still contain, like, her silliness and her quirkiness, but, I mean, just because somebody can be humorous doesn't mean that they can be any less intimidating, at least from my perspective.
I think for me, it's just a matter of she's already been outwitted by people with no magic back when she was on Echo Creek. So
it's kind of because, she was just not, I don't know.
She's dumb.
I mean, yeah. And that's kind of part of what makes it scary for me, too, because I kind of have a fear for situations in which you cannot reason with people.
I will definitely say
that with Mina, that kind of I saw as like a really intimidating aspect of her.
I will
If
say
she just
one
is not
aspect.
cool with something, she's not going to be cool with it.
One aspect I did find threatening about her was specifically the Solarian sword and the fact that it's literally a parasite. One slash from it and it'll just build up.
And now add to it the kind of person who has access to it. It's just like, Jesus Christ.
I can tell you this. I think we know what happened to the Book of Spells when that happened. I think we know where it became in the hands of, probably, during the latter half, almost near the end of the series. I think Mina stole the spell book, is my guess. That's one thing that was actually missing from a lot of people's opinions right there, is the spell book, because it went missing when they were trying to find it, but for some reason I think Mina was the one that stole it.
Well, all the more better that the magic was destroyed then.
That was the one
I'm thinking
thing,
about now.
the missing
That's
spell book, after it was rebuilt. I think
wow.
Mina was looking inside Solaria's chapter, and that's how it's, oh boy, lost it.
Now I'm wondering, because there's a lot of talk about, like, the Forbidden Chapter, right? Now, everyone's saying, okay, it's eclipses, right? But judging by that one episode where we saw Eclipse's spells roaming around, what if a lot of the stuff that made the chapter forbidden actually came from Solaria?
That would make sense. I mean,
Right?
Solaria was her mother.
And
Exactly.
And explained in the spell book, she wanted to hide the most powerful spell that she ever had, possibly in that chapter, most likely.
Right.
Under against the advice of Skywind, who mentioned it in the previous chapter of her story, that anybody who uses the strongest spells is to be forbidden to do so.
And not to mention that we found out that the one really intimidating or dangerous spell that we did see come from Eclipsa wasn't even actually hers. She got it from Solaria.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was just a thought.
Yeah. Well, it's from Solaria's chapters, so yeah. Oh, by the way, Andrew says that he thought that Moon took the Book of Spells when she was helping Mina.
Possibly? That makes sense as well. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't have the best memory, so I don't have any actual recollection of that specifically happening on screen, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think it was on screen. I think it's just more like implied or something like that.
I could see that.
But, yeah. I don't know, yeah, but also, I wanted to bring up another issue I had with Cleaved, is that Mina technically isn't defeated. Like, didn't she, go off in the woods and say, "Who's with me?" And that one person is, running off with her, so it's just couldn't she
Yeah,
still...
that one guy. Though I see that making sense only because of the issue at hand. Because we're talking here about antiquated traditions and ideologies, right?
Mm-hmm.
In essence. And we gotta keep in mind that in a realistic situation, the idea is not going to disappear out of nowhere. Not everyone is going to transition over to a newer concept. There are still going to be people, even young people, who have an antiquated way of thinking, and I think that's kind of well depicted with how they dealt with Mina. Just because, you could see she's not as much of a threat, but she's not gone. She's still there, and the ideas that she has ingrained in her are gonna continue. They're not gonna go away. So I think that's a very realistic way to go about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that Echo Creek, of all places on Earth, now this would be a scary idea. What if it's not Earth as a whole that got swallowed into that got fused into Muni? What if it's literally just Echo Creek?
That's what I thought.
I was thinking of the same thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you just gotta hope that no one in that town has family outside of there.
Oh God, I didn't think of that.
Oh.
Oh shoot.
Or I would have thought of it as the city being replaced with what would usually be there would be more like the Van Nuys area or something in real life, and it was just replacement with Echo Creek or something, if it was in that kind of reality.
Oh.
I would have thought of it as that concept right there, because that's what clicked in my mind right there.
Oh wow.
That is like sort of like a Twilight Zone concept, though. The city that literally vanished from the earth.
Oh jeez, I can see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh.
Well, do we have much more to say?
I will say, with Starco winning, buying these was completely worth it.
Oh yeah, I actually wanted.
I don't know who the
pretty cool.
artists for these are. They're the same ones that did my acrylic stand, but these are acrylic keychains. One side is Future Marco and Marco. One of them is Star in her full form.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the one I got signed from their nephew right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They look
it's
pretty
an
cool.
acrylic stand of Star and Marco riding on the narwhal.
Yeah, Marco's wearing.
I
the
kept on trying to find out who the artist for this was, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
By the way, can you reveal those two keychains you just revealed earlier? I noticed the design looked very familiar to my buttons. Let me see if I can bring this up. Does these look familiar in the design?
Looks kind of
Your
laggy.
camera keeps on coming off. I can't see. Dude,
Just the brightness.
the, oh, I saw a glimpse of it. Yeah, that's the exact same one. Do you know the artist?
Well, I got news for you. It's called injureddreams.tumblr.com. You heard of them?
Injured Dreams?
Yes, INJUREDDREAMS.tumblr.com.
Wait, there's 3 Ds?
No, it's 2D.
Okay, let me just type that in because I really wanted to mention the artist's name when I went to get the sign, but I couldn't find them anyway.
Yeah, that's the Tumblr that's got the same design, so.
Injured Dream. Oh yes, I see it.
Yep. I
Yes.
see them on Tumblr.
Oh my gosh, I've been looking everywhere for this.
Oh yeah. Apparently the same person responsible for this artist was actually at Emerald City Comic Con this year. Yes.
Oh. Whew.
Yeah.
So glad I finally found this one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
the
really-
artist who was there was at Emerald City Comic Con. So, yeah. The artist was at ACCC this year. I actually attended on Friday when I met up, when I noticed something very familiar with the design, and then I decided to purchase both their fan art picture they had and the buttons. And, yeah, it was worth it.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks really cool. So, all right. Having so much trouble with Gabby. Yeah, so I don't know. Do we have much more that we could say aside from like star art?
Oh my gosh! I looked over that artist. That artist is at was at Fan Expo. They had a new version.
Oh, cool. The
Oh.
only thing I have,
They have a
as
new
far
version
as
of the
art from Star is
Oh, wow.
I took this ukulele over to Gallery Nucleus my first time going. It was for the Magic Book of Spells. I wasn't able to get the book. I still don't have the book. I don't know if I'm gonna get a copy. Hopefully I do. We'll see. But Darren FC drew on my ukulele, and I got the autographs also of a few other people at WonderCon plus Comic Expo, and from the same event as I first met Darren FC. What were the names of the other two?
Was it Amber
People that were
Benson
over-
and Dominic Bissignano?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to get their autographs as well. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I still
love
remember
it.
the cool thing is that Dominic said he was the one who actually drew up the Blood Moon Marco outfit. So,
Oh yeah, that's right. That was so freaking cool.
yeah. And speaking of
And speaking of such, I do have one other picture I was able to get besides the buttons. Now we got the lights on, so let's take a look.
Aww.
I got this at Emerald City Comic Con back in April.
oh, who drew that?
I believe it's the same person that I mentioned the URL to on the one that I mentioned to Steve about.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Injured Dreams. That's definitely really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get it because they had it available, and I just couldn't resist. Really, being a Starco fan myself.
Yeah. I guess while I'm here, I guess I'll point out some of the things that Darren has signed. Here's the the infamous wallet that my cousins actually got me, but Darren signed. I actually I don't know if I ever told the story about this wallet, but I actually lost it at that the event she signed it at the Book of
I
Spells
remember.
event.
Ow.
That
Yeah,
was so sad.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was not a pretty sight because we were all like, I was really worried about like telling my parents about it. And I still remember, because I was asking Darren, Dominic, and Amber, like, oh, where is it? And they didn't know. So a week later, I told the gallery nucleus what happened pretty much right away. A week later, I get a letter from the Alhambra City Police Department saying, please come to our police station to pick up your property. And so that's how I was able to get it back. So
That was
That
grateful
is-
for them.
that
That
is-
was really grateful.
yeah, so
That is divine intervention right there.
Yeah,
If
so-
ever there has been an example.
yeah,
Mhm.
so thank you, Alhambra Police Department, for that. I don't know how that works. I don't know if they were like, did the Gallery Nucleus did they actually call them in to go looking for it, or was it that the wallet like fell on the street and somebody that's what my mom thinks what happened, but
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they took it. They were going to take whatever was in it as far as like money and stuff went. Maybe
mhm.
they didn't find anything and they're just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, like my mom's thinking maybe some like homeless person found it on the street, and I do remember there was some like money in it, and they probably were like, take the money, but get rid of the wallet. So
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
yeah, what else do I have? I actually have quite a few, some of which I've actually given away to, like, I know I gave you something, right, Gabby? Like, I gave you a poster and that program, that Long Beach Comic Expo program that Adam signed for you.
Oh yeah. Where do I have that? I think I have it over here.
Yeah. Like, I know that
okay, that's my
it was the
TV, but-
Sincerely Sam one, or something like that.
Trying to remember. It might be in my closet. I haven't had a chance to put any more posters up.
That's
so.
cool. But I was going to show people, I have this from the Toyzilla event. I'm actually thinking of giving away something to, like, my cousin, because she's also into Star vs. the Force of Evil. Oh, unfortunately for us, guess who she supports?
Who? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Tom Star.
Is it pronounced Jarko?
No, Tom Star. She really likes.
Tom Star.
I think she really likes Tom.
Tom.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it! I see it! I have the thing you gave me. It's in my closet. If I die, guys, tell my family I love them.
Well, I was also able to make a visit to Gallery Nucleus a second time prior to visiting the first time after the Toyzilla event. Which, unexpectedly, I did run into Darren and Adam over there, I might add. But when I made my second visit, I did get this jewel as well.
Ha ha ha, now you guys saw me go into my closet. I
Hey.
went in the closet, guys! Oh, that is tight!
I put my good
order for that one.
Man, real good money for it.
Okay.
So
I got the
Got the name for that one?
that would be Magical Eve Amelia Lorenez, I believe is her name.
Can you spell that for me?
She is familiar with the staff, I think, with the show, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Amelia Lorenez is the person who drew this.
Alright. Bobby, I found the poster you got me.
You did?
Yeah, shall I show it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the one from Sincerely Sam that we got from Long Beach Comic Expo. Yeah, I remember Adam himself told me and I says, "Hey, go check out Sincerely Sam." And
then he gave me this. Eat nacho.
Blood Moon Bobby, and it says Adam MacArthur. And it was so random when I ran across Adam at Long Beach Comic Expo. Since we're talking about this, I may as well mention. I just remember we were at me and my sister Penny, we were at Long Beach Comic Expo again on the Sunday.
Got it right.
Yeah, because we heard that Adam was going there, and we were going around the main gallery.
What happened, man?
No, I'm talking about how
Is it that late? Oh my god, it is that late. I need to go, guys. It's been great.
All
It's been
right,
great
cool,
for all of
thank
us.
you.
Oh, yes, it has been.
Yes. Thank you, Gabby,
Alright.
for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I love coming on here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Ready? See you. Bye.
Catch you later.
Yeah, bye,
Yeah.
Gabby.
Bye.
All right.
Good
So,
night, Gabby.
yeah, I'll make this quick. So just because we're talking about this, but I still remember so me and my sister, we were at Long Beach Comic Expo, walking around and where's Adam? Where's that? And then I turn we stopped for a break. I turn around and we just see each other, and it's just Adam sees me and he's like, "Are you Bobby?" And we just started talking, and we did an interview there. He told me about Sincerely Sam, the poster that Gabby just showed, and it was really great. Another thing that my sis got from the Blood Moon Ball was actually this piece of work. I don't know who made this one. Somebody knows, let me know in the live chat. Jeffrey, can you see it?
The photo I saw, the picture that I got earlier.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Yeah, but I may as well show you guys. And yeah, it was signed by lots of people from the cast. It has Darren's signature, Eden's, Sabrina, who's one of the directors, Sabrina Contugno. And yeah, it was definitely really, really cool. Let me actually see. Let's see if I could actually find it on the Gallery Nucleus website, because I really want to credit the person in this video. if somebody is watching in the stream, let me know if and somebody. Wait, Jeffrey, you're talking about that one?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing that at the gallery, being sold at the Gallery Nucleus.
I actually bought this.
Yeah. I really want to honestly get the one where it looks like, you know which one? It looks like the Disney logo with the castle, and there's butterfly motes are flying, you know, across the castle. I'd honestly like to get that one.
I'm not sure if I actually even have that. But I did forget to mention, I do also hold the comic as well.
Yeah.
The one and old rare comic I got.
Yeah, I remember reading that particular one. That's Deep Trouble, right?
Yeah. It's very hard to find. So, and I still have it because I actually was able to get it from my local comic retailer known as the Comic Speak. That's my local comic book store in East Bremerton.
Yeah, that's
so,
really cool.
But, yeah, it's the only other piece of merchandise I have that seems to be in relation to the comic and whatnot.
Alright. What did Heather say? The Disney Castle one is Drake's. I have that one. Yeah, it's definitely really cool. But, Heather, do you know who made the one that you just showed, Jeffrey? Do you know? Like, Heather, do you know who made this one here? Let me know if you do. Trying to get through the Gallery Nucleus's website right now. It is really slow.
Actually, I think the photo that you also the picture that you posted earlier to Bobby,
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw they had a couple of those over there at the Gallery Nucleus back earlier this month when I made my visit. So.
Which photo?
Yeah, the one that you posted up earlier.
Which one? The one where I was, announcing the stream?
Well, the one that you were posting earlier to try to get detail who the person made.
I'm sure, because I know, when I announced the stream, I put up that picture of Star Marco and Cleaved.
No. I'm talking about the Star Butterfly one. The one that has the text all around it. It was the smaller picture.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I don't know if you could come on camera and show me which one, Jeffrey.
I'm right now watching through your YouTube feed right now.
Yeah.
But you posted the picture up a little earlier because it was the Star Butterfly in her white dress and had all that text up there. Unless you put that away.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I think I'm gonna bail out now. So.
Okay, thank you, Steven, for coming on.
Yep.
Yeah, alright. See ya.
Night, Steven.
Night.
Night. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Jeffrey. I think, you're going to have to show me on camera if you could find it.
Well, I wish I know if you were... Yeah, because when I was showing my photo that I got from the picture I got from Gallery Nucleus, you displayed your other picture and stuff that you got from there, but you didn't know who the creator of that picture was. You mentioned that earlier.
No, I don't remember at all. Wait, are you talking about this one? The because Heather was saying that this was made by Becky as well.
Yeah, I think I am referring to that one.
Okay, so, well, now we know. So.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I see it now. It just it's now updating on the feed. Yeah, that's the one.
I see. All right, got it.
Yeah, I thought they had a few. Yeah, they had a few of those over there still over at Gallery Nucleus. So last I checked.
Yeah. But do you know who made the one you just showed me? The one with Eclipse of Star and Moon?
I believe Heather mentioned it as Amelia Lorenz.
Oh, I see.
It's in her in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted
that's me. Who made that one?
Yeah.
That I got.
Okay, I see. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I tried to look for it on the Gallery Nucleus website, but I'm having some trouble accessing it. Well, since everybody else has taken off, I'll take that as my cue to take off. So, Jeffrey, are you? I think we'll end it here. So, are we good with that, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, so just want to say thank you guys for joining on. Everybody who was here earlier, Jeffrey, Stephen, Gabby, Taylor, and I mentioned you, Jeffrey. So thank you all for participating. It was really good. This experience was definitely a much more pleasant one than the last time. And to everybody in the group chat, thank you for coming on and leaving your comments and questions. It's been really great doing these discussions. I hope to do more of these with other shows. I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep the channel going even if Star is over. Even though I've always intended this channel to talk about Star, I also talk about other shows, movies, and even tech on here. So, thank you guys for joining us, and I'll see you all later. So, see you, Jeffrey.
Later, Bobby. Later, everyone in the chat.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. See you, Andrew.